Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. I have put this off long enough and my voice is in a position where I can just about get to a video, so I'm gonna shuffle this way a little bit so I can put the pictures here. But I'm gonna go through my May MBR. I'll show you the spins as they come up. So the first spin was my indie spin, and as you can see, well, the number generator came up with 3. But the 3 was the Hero Interviews by Andy Ewington, and I'm already reading that this month, and I'm almost finished with that. So I did the generator again, and it came up with Of Thieves in Shadow. I am so excited to get to this. This was kindly sent to me by the author. I won it in a giveaway, I think, and there's already a novella out for this series as well. So I'm not going to give you a blurb, because I will give you a blurb as I read it throughout the month. But this was my indie pick for the month of May. Next we had to pick a series, and I haven't picked that book out of my stack yet. But the first spin was, I keep saying spin, the first number that came up was the number that was for the Great Cut series. So I've literally just reread Traitor's Blade, so this is perfect. So I can go straight on to Night Shadow. This will be the first read of this. I've reread Traitor's Blade twice, so in total I've read it 3 times, and every single time I've had the intention of going on to Night Shadow, but it's just never happened. So May's the month I finally continue this series, because Sebastian de Castell has started bringing out more series, more books that link to this series. So I need to finish this series before I read Crucibles of Chaos, before I read Play of Shadows. So I need to get my butt in gear. And then, other books that I don't own physically right now, I did my 12 book 12 prompt spin, and as you can see here, it came up with Meg. So Meg's book was We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faizal, and I don't currently have that physically. I'm probably going to try and get that audibly if possible. And the prompt was to pick a 5-star prediction from one of the Goodreads Choice Awards. So, and it could be from any year. So I've gone from For the Happy Place by Emily Henry. I've already got a few books on my TBR this month, and in the month of April, spoiler, I've read almost 30 books. So I'm going to try and take it a little bit slower in May, and I know I can get through contemporaries really quickly, and they're really good palette cleanser. So there we go for that one. They're the books that I pick every month. So the readathons I'm taking part in, the Vampire Readathon that was created by Chloe Reads Books, and the May the TBR with You that was created by Becca Fowle. So for the TBR with You, I started on Scifier because I rolled a d10 and it landed on a 5. So that told me what planet I need to start on. And then I rolled 5 times, which then determined which planets I had to go to. So the first one was Lothal, next one was Mustafa, third one was Mandalore, 4th was Exegol, and 5 was Naboo. I'm just gonna flick to the other Lisa now, and we will see where we got to. So we started on Scifier, which is number 5. I'm using an earring, and I'm using a 2d10s. So we're gonna be, my first planet that I need to get to is Lothal, so that shouldn't be that hard. So that is a 7 and a 4. I don't think I told you I'm just doing 10 rolls as well. So we've got 7 and a 2.
to. Yay! So that means for Lothal we've got options. Got a book with a slow burn romance, read a YA book, a book with a strong female character, an electric book, a book with a grumpy sunshine trope, or a book with art. I'm gonna come back to this, and when I've done my 12 books 12 prompts rolls and spins, I'm hoping that a book can fit one of these prompts. I need to get to Mustafa, which is all the way down here. So we're praying for a double right now, otherwise we're not going to do it. Got a 3 and a 4. That's pants. Here we go again. Roll number 4. Got a 1. No, 7. 7 and a 0. And I think what Becca does, I think if I can get a 0, I can roll again. So let's roll this one again. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that's wrong, I'm sorry, but I've done it now. Hey! I've got 2, just so you know I'm not cheating, 2 6s. Going all the way to Mustafa. Boop boop. So Mustafa prompts are a burned book or a book with mental health representation. So I think I'm gonna pick Obi-Wan, a book with mental health representation. Okay, so roll number 5 got us to Mustafa, so roll number 6 needs to get us up to Mandalore. Jesus Christ. We've got an 8 and a 9. Does it matter which way I go? No. 1, 2. And then roll number 8. You can see that's an 8 and a 1. Roll up and see what the prompts are. So we can either have Darth Maul, a book with a Caesar at battle, Bo-Katan, a book with sibling relationships, Boba Fett, a book with revenge, Grogu, a middle grade or children's book, Din Djarin, a hardback book, or Satine, a book with forbidden love. I think I'm gonna go with a hardback book so I can fit that with the majority of what I need to read. So now I've got 2 rolls left and I've got to get to Exegol. Where's Exegol? Exegol's there, and then down to Naboo in 2 rolls. Are we doing it? We're not doing it. We've got a 9 and a 3. Oh shit, no, I can still move 3 spaces, can't I? 1, 2, 3. So I need to move a 9 and a 3. Oh my god, you're joking. I am 1 off. This is my last roll. And it's a 1 and a 7, so we're just gonna go to Exegol and we're gonna look at the prompts again. So we've got Rey is an underrated book, Kylo Ren is a book with an I can change him villain, Ben Solo is a book with enemies to lovers. I think for this one I'm gonna choose Rey because most indie books I would want to read are underrated in my eyes, so that is gonna be the pick for that. Lothal I'm gonna pick in while I'm doing my TBR, and because we didn't get to Naboo I'm gonna have to pick from one of my lists that I have. So back over to Lisa.
So, those were the roles, and those were the prompts that I picked for each role. For the first role, I landed on Lothal. I actually got to that planet, so I went for Hera, a book with a strong female character, and I decided to pick up Akamath because I need to also read this book for the Mass-Along. There's also by Tori and Smash, which is Tori from a Scottish Lass Reads, Smash the Bookish Life. So there we go. Next one I got was Obi-Wan, and that was a book with mental health representation, and I'm assuming here, based on what happened in the first book, but Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. Now hear me out. Darrow goes through a lot in the first book, so I feel like that's going to take a toll on him even more in the next book. He's been through shit, so I feel like it's going to affect him and how he reacts to certain situations. If I'm wrong, I can pick up another book, that's fine, I can switch it out, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to go for this for now, but this is just a guess. Next up we had Mandalore, which was Din Djarin, and it was a hardback book, and I'm moving on to A Dark of Darkness and Light by Ryan Cahill. This, at the moment, this series is going to be a reread. I still need to read Blood and Fire. I'm hoping to read that on the days that straddle back end of April, beginning of May, but I will be picking this up in May and doing a vlog on it as well. And finally was Ray, an underrated book, so I'm going to go for Of Thieves and Shadows because it's on my indie TBR list, and I've heard, whoever has read this, I've heard great things about it, but it's not one of the indie books that is as well known as others, so I've gone for that. So what I did then was I didn't get to my final planet, so I decided to go back to my list, do another spin. Well, I say spin, do another number generated book, and that came out with Red Rising. Again, I could just fit Golden Sun in that because I'm continuing the series. So we're winning. We're firing on all cylinders right now. So I'm just going to pull up my Readathon spreadsheet. We're now going to move on to Vampire Diaries. You can't double up. Each prompt will earn you 100 points plus the number of pages of that book. You can only complete, once you've completed all the prompts, then you can read additional books to get you extra points, but you have to have completed all the prompts first, one go around. So Elena Gilbert was read a book, getting a lot of attention, and this is Along the Razor's Edge by Rob J. Hayes. I have heard so many people raving about this book, and I have recently just read his Ties That Bind series, and I can understand why people love his writing, so I'm excited for that one. And then for Stefan Salvatore, read a book with a dual POV, I've chosen We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. Again, links in with everything else that I'm doing. And then Damien Salvatore was read a book that gets you excited, and that could mean in any way, but I've chosen a book that gets me excited because it's just amazing writing and gives me all the feels, makes me smile, cry, want to eat the book because it stresses me out. But this one, I've done this one like by Ryan Cahill. If you don't know who Ryan Cahill is by now and you've watched me for a long time, where have you been? One of my favourite authors. Next one is Bonnie Bennett, read a 5-star prediction, and I don't have it to hand, but that's Night Shadow by Sebastian de Castell. I've given all of his work 5 stars so far, so I'm going for that one. Next up is Matt Donovan, read a book with human main characters, and Thieves and Shadows by B.S.H. Garcia. I'm just, see what I'm doing? I'm not overstressing myself, trying to use as many books as I can that are already on my TBR. Next up is Jeremy Gilbert, continuous series. Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I read Red Rising. There we go. This is an additional book. Tyler Lockwood, read a book with a low rating. Now I went through my Goodreads and there are a lot of books on there that did have lower ratings, but I'm going to take them off my want to read because I'm really not all that interested in them anymore. But the first one that came up that I was interested in reading was To Cage a God by Elizabeth May. This was kindly sent to me by Tor and Black Crow PR, so I'm hoping that this is good. The synopsis tells me that it's going to be my vibe. I haven't read the reviews yet on this book, and I don't want to, so I'm going to read this and see what I think, and we'll take it from there. But I'm hoping I really enjoy it because it looks so nice, so pretty. And we have, next up we have Alaric Saltzman, read a book with a historical element, and this gives me the perfect chance to continue with the Kerry Maniscalco series that started with Stalking Jack the Ripper. I don't know what the whole series is called, but this is Hunting Prince Dracula. So I loved Stalking Jack the Ripper. I can't wait to dive into this one. I've heard mixed reviews about the rest of the series as it goes on, but I'm going to keep my hopes high, and I'm hoping that, you know, all is good. We then have Sheriff Forbes, read a book with a mystery. I'm going to choose one of my many cozy mystery books for this, but I'm probably going to jump back to the OG Joanna de Leon and the Misfortune series that got me into cozy mystery in the first place. I've already got the audio of that from Audible, so I'm probably going to read that. And they are very quick to read, but they are so good. Highly recommend. Next up was Niklaus Michelson, and it's read a genre bending book. This was a book I was supposed to read in April as part of my reading indie books, and I'm nervous about reading this because of, again, hearing mixed reviews about this. I also don't think it's rated the highest on Goodreads. I haven't looked at that, but from what I remember someone saying, it's not rated that high. But this is by Emily McIntyre, so this actually ticks off an indie book on my list, as well as that I should have read in April. Sorry, but obviously it also ticks off a prompt. So Rebecca Michelson or Michelson, I don't know how you say these names, I'm sorry. And then it was Read a Romance, My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. So far, I have loved all Tessa Bailey's work. I've recently read Secretly Yours, Unfortunately Yours. I did, like, a couple months ago, read like 5 Tessa Baileys in a row. Bloody love it. All 4 or 5 stars for me. So I'm hoping this is the same. It broke Andy, and I think it broke her in a good way. So we're just going to hope that's the case. We then have Elijah Michelson, read a book with a beautiful cover. We have Story of Evil by Tony Johnson. This is a book that I'm reading for the tour that we're doing at the end of May for his book, and not much more to say about that. I will do a full review of that when I've read it. We have 2 more left. We have Catherine Pierce, a book inspired by another, read a retelling, or a book inspired by another. I thought I'd got this out, but I clearly haven't. I'm going to read The Lost Boy by Christina Henry, or I think the other one is Alice, which is the first in that sort of series. Lost Boy is a standalone, and it's obviously a kind of dark retelling of Peter Pan, but I might read Alice, one or the other. I know Lost Boy doesn't have an audio. If Alice does, then I'll probably go for that, because I've got quite a few physical reads that I need to read for next month, so yeah. And then finally we've got Enzo St. John, read a second chance author. Now this is really hard for me, because the only authors that I've not like enjoyed or decided not to read from anymore, I've either stopped reading from them for a reason, because they're trash humans and I don't want to support them, therefore why would I give them a second chance, or they, like Deborah Harkness, I've recently just DNF'd the Discovery Witches series, but as far as I'm aware she doesn't have anything out other than that. No, I'm aware of, I could be wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I was really struggling with this one and I really wanted to make sure that I finished all the fucking prompts, so I went through my recent reads, and back in February I did DNF, Muse of Nightmares. And I haven't finished the Dark Smoke and Bone trilogy. So I'm gonna read Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. Is this gonna be a big mistake? Because once again, even people who love Laini Taylor and loved Dark Smoke and Bone, I've not heard the best things about the rest of the series. I am trying to go into this with like an open mind with all of these books, because things that I like others don't, and vice versa. So I need to just, no matter how much I say that to myself, it still does make you worry a little bit going into books that you know other people haven't liked or that are rated really low. So yeah, we'll see. There are 2 other books on here that I need to get to, or that I would like to get to, should I say. One of them, well, this I need to get to because it's a podcast book. So in the month of May, the 1st of May, our manga video is going up that we did with Tori, the podcast. We had so much fun talking all things manga. Jem suggested that we pick a manga, like a one-shot manga or a series that was really short. So Jem found some lists of the top 10 manga, and on both of those lists was All You Need Is Kill. And not gonna lie, this might be a bit gory, but I'm so excited for it. I wasn't gonna get it physically, but then I decided to get it physically. And at the moment, it is my only manga on my TBR for the month of May, which needs to be changed in all fairness. And next is The Tome of Harren, and this is the last book I'm going to put on here, and it's probably going to get read at the end of May, because the tour for this, we're doing the book tour, is the beginning of June. I at least want to start this at the end of May, so that I can promote it at the beginning of June. Actually, I'm lying to you, that wasn't the last one. Another one which is a physical read is The Fall of Giants by Gregory Kataxis. I will be reading this probably back to back with Return of the Night, because the tour for this is near the beginning of May, but I'm so excited to get to this. So excited to get to both of his books, to be fair. That's me done. If you do like me and you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you're here and you want to let me know you're here, if you don't have anything to say, please do black eyes, very much appreciated. And until next time, enjoy whatever you're reading, watching or doing, and I'll see you all very soon.